I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. I just wanted to go live to talk to Bucks Nation about next step for the Milwaukee Bucks, realistically going into the 2024-25 off season and going into the regular season. Our expectations, moves we like to see made by the Bucks, and just overall changes that we like to see made with the Bucks. So I wanted to wait a few days before going live so we can all calm down from yet another first round exit, early exit by the Milwaukee Bucks, and just come back together and let's just chop it up, Bucks Nation, about how y'all feel. Let's look at some of these salaries. I hope all of y'all got to listen to Dame's presser so we can put the rest that he doesn't want to be here. He seems extremely motivated now. I hope you heard Giannis's presser. There was no way that he was going to play. And also, if you saw some of Doc's presser where he was saying, especially about Marjan, that he never got to see him play and know what he could do because he was always hurt, but knows he has a lot of ability and that they need to, and that the Bucks need to get younger. So at least Doc understands what we need and what's going on. So I'm hopeful that the correct changes can be made in the off season. And first of all, before we really get into it, salute the Bucks Nation. Salute to the best Bucks chat on YouTube. This is the best Bucks podcast on YouTube, hands down. Appreciate all y'all for tapping in. I know I'm going live a little early. I got available, so I'm like, hey, let's chop it up with Bucks Nation. More time the better. Let me see who's all up in the chat right now. I know I'm a little early. Let's see who's all up in the chat real fast. Shout out to Luke Lipinski. What's good? Mr. Cool. What's good? Robert Allen. What's good? Rigo. What's good? Matt. What's good? Green Ranger, my man's, what's good? Daniel Orton, what's good? Big task at hand, what's good? Juicy, what's good? Travis Fletcher, what's good? My man Jimmy Roller, what's good? Daniel Orton, appreciate the 199 super chat. Who got it worse, Pat Bev or Drake? I think that's a horse apiece. Pat Bev, that move that Pat Bev made at the end of Game 6 might cost him being on the Bucks roster. Real talk, that was crazy. And Drake, I don't care what happens in music. That's all entertainment to me. I don't care who gets shamed. But with this Pat Bev, this impact my squad, so it's different. Shout out to the Bleacher Report boss. Appreciate the 199 super chat, fam. Brandon King Carter, what's good? What up, Stacy? What's good? Let's chop it up, Bucks. Hey, Marvin, what's good, bro? Let's get to some of these comments. I'm gonna open the phone lines here in a minute, or cyber lines, whatever we want to call them. Luke said Trey, Brooke Lopez, Pack Arlington, Chris Livingston. Okay. Pat stinking content. Yeah, we definitely, Pat definitely need to go. My man, Mr. Cool, always the voice of reason. What's good? He said, well, the top young players are mostly lottery picks. They are late first round picks and second round picks and non-drafted players. The Bucks has excellent regular season record, 7 years. Yeah, that's true. But the NBA is changing, Mr. Cool. We got to pick up the pace. And also on top of that, Mr. Cool, Giannis is a fast-paced player. We should have more players that can play at Giannis's pace as well. Robert Allen was good. And some of the guys still in over 30 are injured. LOF, OKC, and many are in the Western Conference Finals and might wake up the front office, hopefully. That's a good point. And those are both very young teams. That's a good point. Very good point. Rigo said, "Will Pat Bev be suspended for half the season?" He's gonna definitely get suspended. I don't know what he was thinking. He's definitely gonna get suspended though. Robert Allen said the Bucks will have pick 21 and 33, so we'll see what happens there. Doc said young guys need to get better, and Giannis said he wants to work with Dame in this offseason. And I also heard Giannis say that he's thinking about adjusting his game slightly for health purposes and for more longevity. So I was putting a lot better spirits after listening to the pressers and that the players and the coach understands the changes that need to be made on this team. And also for Dame kind of taking responsibility for not being prepared enough coming into the season with all the different personal situations he had going on. And for him to say he's going to try to come into camp in the best shape of his life is very motivating and makes me feel a lot better about the Bucks. If one of your core players, top 75 all time, is talking about he's going to get in the lab, I think this first round exit might be everything the Bucks needed to get the shot of youth that we need in this organization, and to see that we need to kind of change our ways and go away from this just heavy vet squad that we have, because we have to be able to run with these young guys. We just have to. We have to adjust. Green Ranger said, disgusting fun fact. There are only 6 starters in the NBA playoffs remaining over the age of 30 total. The Bucks were starting 4 guys over the age of 30 and playing a total of 7 guys over the age of 30. Wow. 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 That is very interesting. Wow. What you think about that? I don't know, Mr. What y'all think about that? That's a little wild. That's a little wild. And that's what that right there lets you know everything you need to know about. We need to get younger. We just do. Green Raider said we got to get some of these old guys off this damn roster, or our team is ancient. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the pay again on the squad here. Let me put this up here. So this is the salaries for next season, or this season and going into next season. As you can see, we obviously have Giannis signed for a few more years. Dame, Chris, Brook becomes easier to get rid of because his salary will just be for next year's his final year of his salary. So I do think it'd be easier to move Brook due to that being able to 23 million to come off somebody's books will be very helpful. And we have Bobby signed for a few more years. Now I want to touch on Bobby P for a minute and just put some things into perspective. I know that we've all been a bit disappointed with some of Bobby's antics and some of his inconsistencies, but for what Bobby is getting paid, he's one of the best values in the NBA. For what Bobby puts up to what he's getting paid, Bobby should probably be getting paid 20 million a year. Let's keep it real. For his production, looking at what other players are getting paid. So I don't know if it's worth trading Bobby, because I don't know if you'll be able to get anyone back at that price to do what he does, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I just want us to have real open and honest conversation, Bucks Nation. As much as Bobby does some crazy stuff, for 11 million a year, he's a great value. He's a great value. And Patrick Beverly, I wanted him back on the team, but I don't know if the antics that happened in Game 6 will cost him. That might cost him his roster spot. Obviously, we know Jay Crowder's gone. I would assume Malik Beasley's gone. So I would assume the major 3 people that'll be leaving for sure would be Crowder, Beasley, and Brook Lopez. I think those 3 should be gone for sure. And I don't know what Pat Connaughton has over the organization, but I don't know. I can't see us trading him because they just love him. I don't know why. If it was up to me, I would trade Pat Connaughton, but I'm just being realistic of this roster. We got to be real. Pat Connaughton clearly has some Diddy tapes or something on somebody, and they're not going to trade him for no reason, no matter how bad he plays, how much he does the fly by Pat, no matter what. I just feel like he's going to run his salary is going to run its course. Now, what we get interested in is, I know people complain about Middleton as well. Middleton will be tricky with the trade, just at his salary and what you would expect to get back at his age and his decline in athleticism. Would I be willing to trade Middleton? Absolutely. But being realistic, I think that the 4 Bucks that I can say for sure that are coming back, besides the young guys, will be Giannis, Dame, Chris, and Bobby P. I have a feeling those 4 will be coming back. Would I love to trade Chris Middleton? Absolutely. But I don't know if it's a realistic scenario at all. I just don't know. But if it was up to me, I would definitely move Chris to get somebody younger in at that position. I just don't know if that's possible. And then obviously Gallo's gone. He won't be coming back. Definitely won't be coming back. And then it'll be interesting to see if we re-sign Lindell Wigington, Ty Washington, or Marcus Bolden. So those will be interesting. Obviously, we got AJ Green for some years, Andre Jackson for some years, Chris Livingston, Beauchamp is signed for some years. And I'm hoping now with a full offseason that Doc can really hone in and pay attention to the young guys so we can get them going on opening night, getting them integrated in the offense so they'll be ready for the playoffs, because we need their speed and athleticism. And to me, AJ Green is a direct replacement for Pat Connaughton. If we were to trade Pat Connaughton, I think AJ Green would be plug and play, be able to do what Pat Connaughton does, plus more. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. But I do think there's probably an 80% chance that Middleton's coming back. I think Brook is almost good as gone. I think Brook is good as gone, though. So now that we have a look at the salaries, having realistic expectations, let's have the discussion, y'all. Let me go in the comment section. Let's have the discussion. So y'all got to see everything. If y'all want me to show it again, let me know. But I'm going to get to the comments now. Mr. Cool says, so by having good records, we get lower picks. It's not realistic to think second round picks will outplay lottery picks. That's fair. Understood. That's why but the thing is, if we were been giving away picks all willy-nilly, we'd be able to package some of these older players with those picks to try to get something back in return. That's the thing, Mr. Cool. Juicy said we need help all of the places on defense. Yeah, our on ball defense was crazy. All good, Travis. All good. My man Daniel Orton, the Bleacher Report, balls tapping in. Let me get through a couple more comments, bro, and I'm gonna tap you right in. Last Ghostwriter said, run it back for what? To get beat by the Magic? Yeah, there's no running it back. You run it back, it's gonna be the same result. I agree. Jimmy Roller said, playoff Middleton better get traded while he has somewhat of a high trade value. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you. Travis Fletcher said it's about to be Minnesota Timberwolves versus Indiana Pacers for the chip, and ultimately Minnesota Timberwolves winning the championship. Indiana Pacers have no chance to get into the finals. No chance. They was struggling with us with our G League team. Big task at hand. So I told you about your team since Christmas. The dollar bills are trash and the Knicks are better. All right. Damn, Juicy said cut Pat and Brooke and Jay and the deal. Some of them will just go by attrition, bro. Oliver Story, what's good, bro? Appreciate your support. We love the entertainment on your show. Appreciate it, bro. Just want a safe haven, safe place for real Bucks fans to come hang out and chop it up. Absolutely. What up, Brandon? Let's tap in the Bleacher Report boss here. I know he got a lot on his mind. He doing Birdman hand rubs in the green room. Shout out to him. Go ahead, bro. Hey, as y'all come in here, hit the like button, please, so other Bucks fans can find the content. The season is over, but the content we produce is not over. Let's get that likes up, the Bucks Nation. Salute, salute. Packers content coming soon as well. We about to keep it rolling. Go ahead. What's going on, Bleacher Report, boss?
First of all, shout out to Bucks Nation. Shout out to Bleacher Report. I know. Man, I'm glad I didn't even get. I was so mad I didn't even get to read what Dame and Giannis said. I mean, I a little bit, but hearing you from your lips that Dame said he knew they didn't do better than they should have, and I know they didn't.
Right.
And then hearing Giannis say what he said about him change his game a bit, because we talked about it.
What?
He needs to even Michelle B. Shot, because he said it too. Michelle B. Shaka, he said that he got to change his game. His body just gave out on him. I never seen somebody's body just give out on him just like that. And it's just accountability for his whole squad, and like I said, I did like a video on TikTok, and I kind of said that Pat Bev, he was wrong what he did. First you go after a fan for saying Cancun on 3. I mean, come on, man. Fans gonna troll you.
Right.
You
That's
know,
what they do.
they're gonna troll you, and
Right.
then I think that wasn't the worst part. The worst part we did to that reporter, and
Yeah.
he said, "You said, did you subscribe to my pod?" And she said, "No," and he said, just pushed her away. I'm like, dude, we
He
just
he he
lost.
was he you know what? That's very unprofessional. For someone that had and he got banned from ESPN now. Like you did so much stupid stuff in a 48-hour span. We might not be able to resign you because of the black eye that you just put on the Bucks Nation. You know what I'm
Yeah, the
saying?
Bucks.
Pat Bev might have cost himself a spot on this roster, maybe in the NBA. I don't know.
And the Bucks forced him to apologize. They even apologized to the lady for him. That's how bad it got. And I'm
Right,
like, we don't need this right now. This is the last thing I want to hear about you doing that. I mean, you ain't worth the trouble if you're gonna do stuff like that. If you're not happy with, clearly I knew you was upset, but it's with grace, man. You gotta be grace, and
agree, Robert Allen. Yep, you got to
he
lose
know,
with grace. Yeah, you got to
you
lose with grace.
grace out there. I'm mad. Like I'm mad too. You know how many times we look. You know how many times we lose in the playoffs? You know how many
Right,
times we gotta be mad when the Packers lose in the
right.
NFC Championship game? You know how many times we lost?
Right.
Man,
Patrice, we figuring that out. I know Bleach Report boss has been looking into that for John Horst leaving this summer. You don't got nothing solid yet, right?
no, what I'm saying, what I'm hearing is he's one of the candidates for that job in Detroit. So nothing solid
What up,
yet. But
WFSO?
if anything, I want him to resign if he wants to leave to go to that team. I don't want you just sitting there to take the job. We'll take the job and
That's
whatever, get
true.
out. But nothing yet. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. If anything goes fruition, I pass it on to Amber. But nothing happened yet with that. So I'm still
Okay,
looking up.
cool. Let me get to my boy Pass Super Chat. What up, Pass? Got wedding planning to do for my sister, but Pat and Brooke are the first to go. Think we could get Wendell Carter Jr. a possible 2 guard from the Pels. Hey, that ain't bad.
Ain't
I'm
right.
not against that. Shout out to Pass. Congratulations to your sister,
We
bro.
we need younger players, man. Like it's apparent when watching the last couple of games. They need younger, athletic, and just Giannis need more help because it's. I'm not saying that he's doing anything wrong, bad, but I never seen somebody play that much and his body just gave out on him like that.
Right.
Like and Dame and Giannis need to work together. Like he said he's going to
When
do
I'm
it, and
when they say work together, they need to be working on plays. Do you get what I'm saying? Like working on the pick and roll, you doing the screen, you ducking under all the different scenarios. You know what? They should watch the Denver Nuggets watch the pick and roll and do exactly what Denver doing. Damn near, they run the pick and roll probably better than any team in the NBA.
any team. And I just it just they're they're not going to break these guys up. So I can just see owners probably like we're not going to break it up. We're going to keep it together. They talked about they want to play again another year. They have a full off season together. So
Right.
I hope they get the off season together and get prepared because neither one of them. I don't even want Giannis in the Olympics. I really don't want him
Oh
playing the
no, there
Olympics.
should be no Giannis in the Olympics. No, no, no,
I,
no, 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 no. No. He
I,
should be banned from all sports for at least 90 days. And I'm saying that to let your body fully heal. We need you. Y'all ain't got no chance of winning nothing in the Olympics over there in Greece. Respectfully. Respectfully, you have no shot. There's no reason for you to put them extra miles on your body. You need to be here and hitting Akeem up again and stuff like that, working on your game. And that's the real truth.
true.
This team got embarrassed. I want to see the Bucks come out next season guns blazing. Like we should see a completely different team. We know what our Achilles heel is. It's speed. We also know that we can't defend guards. We know what the problems are. I expect them to be addressed this offseason. I also do think with all the rumors circulating around John Horst, that John Horst, it might be a good time to leave.
Yeah.
We've been put out in the first round 2 years in a row. It might be a good time for him to leave.
gave a 5 second round picks
for Crowder.
I mean, that's a fireable offense right there, dude. We can't
That
look.
man
This
said
is how
that's a
bad it is,
fireable offense. It's great. Go ahead.
bro. But bro, it's like we was in the first movie Cars, and now we're number 3 right now. We
All
got
right.
McQueen passed over all these fast old cars in the third movie. You guys watch that movie. You see you used to be the fast car, the fast. All of a sudden now you got all these
We
fast,
gotta just adjust to what's going on in today's NBA.
and that's the thing. And it's like they trying to pull let's pull the same thing. So get these older players get experience. I'm like, it doesn't matter the experience. You got these players hungry. A lot of these
Right.
teams are hungry. None of these teams never won a championship before. Denver just lost yesterday. You got
Okay.
all these.
Damn. Dark Kent said get rid of Dame and Middleton. Damn. Okay. Who? Hey, Dark Kent, let us know in the chat who you want to replace them with. If that's what you would like to do, who would you like to get back for those type of
It better be
players?
good. It better be good.
It bet just taking into consideration, Dame was just dropping 30 on a bad wheel in this playoff run. But I digress. Yeah, let me know who you want to trade it for.
Yeah, man. It's just this man. The Bucks. The Bucks gotta get a full offseason with Doc. And I know a lot of people was talking about how they want Doc going. I'm like, we already got 3 guys on the books. They gotta see what Doc can do in offseason, man.
All right, all right. Hey,
They
you
need
see
to get
my man
Eric
Jimmy
Carter.
Roller said that we're gonna get rid of the wrong pack. Shout out to Jimmy Roller. Shout out to Jim. I do think Lopez is good as gone, though. I think Lopez is good as gone.
$25 million for what?
He's good as
25 million.
gone.
You
I think
you
he's
bet
good as gone. Let me put the link in the chat here too. Hold on.
he made us pay 25 and then make sure his brother play on the team. We like, man, we got to get him. Like, you know what? Your brother got to get off the team, man. We need a right spot, man. He ain't doing nothing. And then we can't say nothing to Giannis because that's pretty much it. That comes with the package. He's gonna be on that bench.
We know Thanasis stay. To me, I actually think Thanasis should get a little bit of playing time because he's athletic, to keep it real, and just see if he can be if the coach can kind of use him 5-10 minutes here, because he does have he has a high motor as well. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know why they don't use it, because he can defend.
Right.
He's a little bit too jealous with doing it, but you got to do something if you're just gonna sign him on a roster spot. You gotta do something.
Right. What up, Monalando? What's good, bro?
Oh, bro, what's up, bro? What's up, everybody? What's up, man?
What's up,
Bleacher Report boss. How you doing?
What's good, bro?
How was the audio? I'm in my car.
Yeah, it's decent. It ain't the best, but we'll work with you. Tell us what you want to see in the offseason. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Monalando.
Yeah, go ahead, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Just trying to get
Bro,
through the weekend.
bro, I got sick over the weekend, but maybe it's because I'm thinking about the Bucks all day.
Yeah.
Yo, this Bucks team, man, they got me sick over the weekend.
He said they got me sick over the weekend. We know what we need to do. We just need a little bit of youth. Hey, Mr. Cool, we not saying, because I know Mr. Cool and I have been talking all week, going back and forth about youth versus veterans. We're not saying to get just try to sack the team and just get all young guys. We're saying we just need young guys inserted into the lineup for playing time. For when we play against these high tempo teams, we need to fight fire with fire. That's just what we saying.
Exactly.
We can't expect Chris Middleton to stay in front of Pascal Siakam or some of these players. We can't expect him to stay in front of them. His body can't do it no more. He got John Elway knees now. We just gotta hope he can get some buckets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it real. We have to be able. That's why our defense look crazy, because we don't have the speed to keep up with these teams. Even when we rotate, the rotations wouldn't really be that bad if we had the ability and athleticism to get back off of the double. That's where we get killed at, because when we go double, right, We don't have the athleticism to jump back on your man. It take too much time, and then they swing the ball, and then the whole defense is out of whack, and then they get a wide open corner three. People was killing us with the same. Indiana killed us with the same move the whole series. It wasn't no special effects. They wasn't hiding what they was doing. We just didn't have the athleticism to stop it. Athleticism is why we lost that series, along with Giannis being hurt, and I understand that. But even with Giannis, they probably would have still given us problems because of the athleticism and the tempo, which is why we
Yeah,
have we have a Lamborghini in Giannis. I'm not saying we need all Lamborghinis around it, but can we get some, Audi R8s? Can we get some Nissan GTRs? Can we get some Dodge Demons? Can we get a little bit of speed around them so they can keep up a little bit so we can increase the pace? I think that's what we really need.
Yeah, I think
well,
real quick, Marlon.
Go
I
ahead, Monalando. Then go ahead, back to you, Bleach Report boss. Go ahead, Monalando.
go ahead,
no,
bro.
I was just gonna add on to you, Amar. I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna add on to what you were saying. The reason why we don't add youth to our lineup is because the coach changed. We had youth in our lineup. We just didn't use it. We had it the
That's
whole
fair.
time.
Adrian Griffin was coaching. We were playing the young guys more. That's fair. That's fair.
Exactly. And how many wins did we get with him? We got a lot of wins, did we not?
Yeah.
We got a lot of wins with those youthful guys that were jumping up and down the court, competing with these guys. But then again, that was the what do you call it? The regular season. No one really cares, right? Some teams care, like the
Yeah.
Grizzlies. They really love to beat. They really like when they see the Bucks. They're salivating. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to beat these guys."
Damn,
Some teams just
even
don't. They don't.
man,
They're
look at
not scared of us.
our one of our ops is even making sense for once. TJ even making sense. Hold on, let me make sure his comments stay up here. Look at this, y'all.
What do you
TJ
say?
said this y'all problem at WFS. So y'all see Middleton have a good playoff series, then refuse to move him. You must get younger. This core ain't winning another title. I kind of feel
Yeah,
that
you're
way.
right.
Without getting younger, I kind of feel that way. I think there's legitimacy to that statement. For once, TJ, you making a little sense.
Well, to me, it's pretty much somebody got to be the bad guy. Somebody got to be the bad guy, and that means the GM has to be has whoever it is got to be the bad guy and do something best for the team. We ain't gonna like it, but it has to be done. The Packers did it. We was mad at what the Packers GM did years ago because he had to get rid of Rodgers, he got rid of Joey Nelson, got rid of all these old players,
Devontae Adams.
and now we seeing what we doing. Yeah, Javante Adams. We seeing what we doing now. Be like, oh, now we see what we're trying to do. Because now we looking like we gonna go to Super Bowl this year or soon.
Talk to
Like
him.
I told you guys,
I see
Super
what you
Bowl.
did there. I see what you did. Yep.
We going, but it's just that the Bucks have to make that tough decision. It's too much loyalty when it comes to a team that probably ain't gonna make it. You got to make that tough decision. You got to be real with yourselves. 4 of these players got to go. I mean, Lopez, Beasley, Crowder, like pretty much all those out the books. And now Pat Ben might be gone too, because
Yeah.
what
Pat
He's
Bev might
tweaking,
have
yeah.
yeah, he might have killed himself. Hold on 1 second, bro. Let me get the homie. What up, Nick Swin? What's going on, ma'am? Appreciate the 4.99 super chat. Confused on how the new April rules apply to us. Are we stuck with certain players? Quick explanation if you can. I still need some explanation on the April. Bucks Nation, if y'all could comment or put up a super chat to explain, would be much appreciated. Or tap into the live if you got a full understanding of how the apron rule works. Much appreciate. Thank you, Nick.
well,
And tap in when you get a chance, Nick.
I I got a little bit. I think it's pretty much how much the contracts is over a loophole of certain amount of each contract. Like let's say $10 million, you
Mm-hmm.
got over a little bit of that apron hold to try to trade somebody or keep the player, and it's just a salary, and then the signing bonus. So let's say we want to get rid of Bobby Portis. He's making like $11 million, but because he's making over a $10 million threshold, he probably can't trade him because it has to line up the same number of the contract he's trading him for. So that's what's pretty much what it is. That's what pretty much is. But it's still more that I need to learn about it. But that was a little bit off the top of what
Okay.
I learned so far. But the Bucks been trading water. The Bucks been trading water on doing that the last couple of years since they've been
Correct.
trying to get teams better. So now they need to just reboot this team and make it get under because they still over the price, the tax, wherever luxury tax, and they got to get
Right.
over.
Yeah, we're well over that.
Yeah, we're well. We got one of the highest
Yeah,
salary.
we're
I
not
think we
coming
got the
back from
fourth
that.
highest salary in the NBA.
Crazy
Yeah, under it a
for a
little.
small market team too.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
We're not
But
the
like
Lakers.
I
Like
said,
we
I
can't
think
just
the real
dispose of people.
movable piece is Brooke Lopez. I do not think now looking at the contract and production, just on contract and production, we cannot move Bobby Portis.
Yeah,
There's no
No,
way
no,
we
no, no,
can
no.
move Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis is one of the best six mans in the league right now.
And
Why
only
would
getting
you want to
10
move him
million
just
a
because he had
year.
some? And we're
well,
paying him less than how much we should be paying these like his skill or his
His
skill
skill set,
level.
exactly.
He should be getting paid more.
Yeah, I
But the
agree.
fact that
That's
he's willing to
what I'm
stay
saying,
for that
Mama
much,
Londo. We got to keep
that means
Bobby.
loyalty,
Bobby
bro.
is staying just on the economics alone. You can't trade Bobby. To put it in perspective, Bobby only gets like 2 million more than Pat Connaughton. Let that sink in.
if that makes
Let
That's
that
sense.
crazy.
sink in.
Yeah, it gonna
Bobby
have to
didn't
be
think he was.
Lopez. Got to go. He's too slow. He's a dinosaur. That boy can't move his legs. His arms like a T-Rex. He can't. No, he need to go.
Ever
It
since Bobby came back from his, ever since Bobby came to Milwaukee, he doesn't want to leave. It doesn't look like he want to leave.
But at that price, we don't need him to leave. Bobby is one of the best
Exactly.
values in the NBA, period. Bobby P is
And
one of the
I'm telling
best
you, every
values in the
team is
NBA.
probably looking at him right now.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Gibson. Oh, there you go, Gibson. What up, Gibson?
Hey, what's up, Dipsy?
All right, let's go,
Salute,
brother. Come on, Gibson.
come
peace
on,
and
man. I know
love,
you
peace and Amber, peace and love to Daniel, peace and love to Manolando. Good connection you have there, guys. I love it. I taking notes. I listening. I was waiting on this link all day to hit the chat. I couldn't wait. I was scrolling to find out any articles. I like the
Hey, we here. We ain't quit. Hey, we ain't quit. We
no,
gonna keep grinding. Go ahead, Gibson. So tell us what you think about the off season, what you heard so far, your comments. I know you've seen there's been a lot of comments in the comment section as well. Mr. Cool kind of more believing in the vets. And I just think there's a lot of different perspectives, and I find them all intriguing, to be honest. What's your perspective?
okay. I was watching that New York game, no, that Cleveland and Orlando game today, and I learned a lot of positive from that. That they have guys who want to win and guys who chase down rebound every rebound. The Chaos was chasing them down, which is what we did not do right in this series. Our guys just was standing around. They wasn't chasing after the rebounds, the loose balls. Everybody just was. Cleveland was crashing the glass on the offensive glass. It was crashing the glass. Salute to Mr. Smith, Dr. Smith, the legend. Salute.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's
What's happening,
going
chat?
on?
it's cool.
Absolutely.
So
What up? What up? Before we get into it, we got our favorite app. Got a comment. Hold on 1 second. No Strays ENT. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Our favorite app. Peace to the panel. What time the Bucks play tonight? Asking for a friend.
oh, come on, man. You
Oh,
know he out
bro,
of the blue.
Come
really, bro?
on,
Come
man.
on, bro. Really? This dude.
Come on.
Go ahead, Dr. Spill. Talk to us, man. I can't believe my guy with the low blow. Go.
He's just doing his job, right?
Doing his
Somebody got
job, bro.
it, right? He's just doing
He
it.
funny though. He funny. I'm gonna give him that. Well, go ahead,
Yeah,
Dr.
for
Spill.
sure.
Tell us
For
what you
sure.
think about like realistically what we can do.
I honestly think the issue is a little bit more extensive from what I saw than I originally give credit for. And I honestly think a lot could be learned from our football counterparts right there in Wisconsin. It was very much like what I was saying the other day. I think they really need to establish athletic principles and protocols that they adhere to and really stick to it, right? Certain thresholds that have to be met, right? We look at the NFL Combine, for example. There is a basketball combine, right? How strictly are teams adhering to those athletic thresholds that are examined in that combine? Because I know, for one, for example, the Packers stick very much to combine scores. They're not like solely stuck to those things, but like they have these things called RAS scores, relative athletic scores,
Mm-hmm.
and you can almost predict who the Packers are going to pick based on how they've selected in the past. We need to get that equivalent going in Milwaukee to make
Damn,
sure
Rico.
that we have a certain standard that's maintained on the team at all times. We're not going to have certain players below this height, below this wingspan that can't do a short shuttle within this particular time. We need to know whether or not these guys are athletic. And it's because of this last series that I'm really kind of falling back into that. When you have guys like Pat Connaughton who are scared to go up with the ball because they're afraid to get the ball swatted, because they no longer have any athleticism, when they lack that athleticism. When you have guys like Bobby Portis, who people are advocating stay, but I saw Bobby Portis basically have his offense outside of one game get reduced to almost nothing when we needed it because of his lack of athleticism. It's where the
That's
league
true.
is pointing to. It's where the league is pointing to. And the longer we don't get in on that, the further and further back we're going to go, right? I was saying it this year because I saw how we played against Orlando. And then we saw it against Indiana in the regular season. We're
What up,
falling
Gibbs?
behind when it comes to explosion, speed, and whatnot. You need to expand your search outside of the NCAA. You need to start taking in these other leagues. You need to, if you're not able to scout these players from around the globe, then the first step you need to make is to get your scouts out of there and get some new scouts in.
Correct.
This is what we're looking for, right? If the game is moving towards positionless basketball, then I don't want anyone shorter than 6'7" that cannot handle the ball.
Facts.
First and foremost, right there, we need to drastically improve our perimeter defense and start there. It's almost like the offensive line and the defensive line, right? In football, all football starts with the lines. For me, basketball is getting to a point where it starts with whether or not you can attack from the perimeter and whether you can defend the perimeter. If you can't do that, you're not going to be able to compete with any of these teams going. You look at all of the ones left, all of the ones have athleticisms in spades. The Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Cavaliers now, the Knicks even have more athleticism than us. We are falling behind everyone. We need to get back into it. We need to get back into this race. You need to get your salary cap back within manageable levels, and that means pulling people in the office and having hard conversations. You need to take a pay
Got you,
cut,
Gibson.
or you need to move on. I'm sorry, bro.
Go ahead, Gibson.
I think we should make Mr. Smith the GM of the Milwaukee Bucks because he brings a lot of good.
Yeah, I'm with
No,
that smoke. I'm with that
I
no,
think
smoke. I'm with that.
I think you
I'm
should
with
take
that.
these are not.
I think you should take John Hor's spot because he making some good tough decisions for this team because John Hor's supposed to be on this part and giving the point of view. Dr. Smith is making some very good point. I agree with you, Mr. Smith. We need to get some athletic guys to
Okay, but
help this team.
before we get into athleticism and all that, we need to take the first step. Do we keep this GM? Let's start there first. Does Horse
No,
stay or does Horse go? That's step one.
I
That
think you do
impacts
because I don't think.
everything.
let
I
me
think
let
you
me
do.
let
I
me.
don't think he was a complete failure. I think that honestly, there's a lot of changing the way that we think, right? So someone that made a good point the other day that the players in basketball have a lot more power than the players in football, right?
Correct.
The GMs in football are allowed to make their decisions, provided the owners don't get in the way, and make it with impunity. Now, obviously, that can be
Facts,
abused, right?
Mr.
There's no
414.
perfect situation, right? But when you have basketball players who start to make personnel decisions, you have what we had in Milwaukee this year, right? You have a head coach being given a job because he got the co-sign from a player who, quite honestly, needs to stay out and let GMs do that. They have the 30,000
Foot view.
foot view,
Yep.
right? Whereas the players are on the field, so it's harder for them to see, right? Hold on, let me say, Dr. Smith. That's because these last 4 years, those teams we mentioned had high picks, and we had good records and lower picks. That's how those teams have improved, which is the system. Of course,
Yeah, that's
of
true.
course. Yeah, I mean, but that's with respectfully, that's obvious, right? So we're going to have the other thing is that we keep trading our picks away.
Correct.
for older players, right? So it's not just that we're falling into that we're too good to draft highly, but we're not good enough to win the championship. That I mean, that's also the pocket that we're finding ourselves into.
That
But
is
we also
very true. That is very true.
right? But we're also trading away the ammunition that we have. So we've ended up in like this really tough spot, right? Your picks are your future. We need to stop trading those away. None of this is an original thought, right? Like I said, you have someone who's running a clinic right next door to y'all. Green Bay does not easily trade picks away because that's the future. They have athletic principles that they adhere to regardless of what the outside world says, because they know what is going to work on their team. You take someone like a Tyron Hopper who just got drafted for the Packers, and an
It's cool.
Evan Williams. Those two people
Rock
in particular.
paid them almost.
Say
It's
again.
cool. Yeah. Mr. Cool saying that if the Rock, I mean, if Lopez ain't worth $25 million with anybody, why anybody else would? I'm like, the Rockets almost paid him until he's last minute signed with the
It was a
Bucks.
power move. That was a power move. Shout out to Brook Lopez. He used that team to leverage it. We did everything wrong. In hindsight, we did everything wrong, right? Because that's
But
not the
on the
first time that
positive
a player.
side, he only has next year is the last year of his contract, which means he's tradable if a team wants to get 23 million off of their book stat. So I do still feel like he's a tradable asset, seeing that this is the last year of a $23 million contract.
Yeah. And just responding again and said we traded our picks away to win now because we felt we were close. Unfortunately, we swung and missed and lost those players. Exactly.
Right.
We are in the same position that the Packers were in when they had Aaron Rodgers and they had Devontae Adams and they went out and they made signs like Whitney Merciless or whatever. That was your all-in move, right? You push the chips to the center of the table because you feel like you're close and you just need that veteran presence to get you over the top. And just like the Packers, the Bucks were off. They were wrong. And it ends up setting you back. And sometimes that's the gamble and the risk that you take, right? You have to do a better analysis on who you decide to pay money to, right? If Phoenix wasn't willing to do it and they benched Jay Crowder, that should have been a big red flag for us. And we didn't see the signs. And now we're paying for it, right?
Right.
So I think once you do that, you have to become fiscally responsible again, very much like the Packers did, which means that they're going to have some hard years where they balance their books. And that may not be something that the Bucks fan base wants to embrace, but if you want to get back to a state of equilibrium, of homeostasis, if you want to get financially healthy again, then that's going to have to be something that you do. Brook Lopez, you either take a pay cut or we move on from you. And there are a
Facts.
number of players that I would either have that conversation or you wouldn't even get that conversation. Pat Connaughton, you wouldn't even get that conversation. You thank him for everything that he's done. It doesn't have to be rude or anything, but we have to move on. We're cutting you. You are no longer meeting the thresholds. It just is what it is. You can't compete. That last series that we saw against the Pacers
They ran us
was
out the
all that I
building.
needed to see.
They ran us out the building.
Right, was all that I needed to see. That's all that I needed to see from certain guys, right? Malik Beasley, this was your opportunity to get the bag. This was experimental. It
Right.
didn't work, bro. Good
Gone.
luck.
That's
Good
why I said
luck.
at least we know a couple people are gone right off the bat. We know Beasley's gone. We know Crowder's gone off the rip. We know Gallinari's gone off the rip. So we know those three players are definitely gone. The other ones we'll
Right.
have to see, but those three are gone for sure. Go ahead, Gibson. Were you saying something, Gibson?
Yes, Amber, what I saw today in that Orlando and Cleveland series, and I watched that and I took a lot of note from that series. I say, you know what? Cleveland doesn't have all those old dudes that we have. You see, their young guys was running up there, they was hustling, they was grabbing rebounds and everything. Okoro, oh boy, if he ever become a free agent, why when the Bucks snatch him quick, boy, he was putting some pressure on Paolo Banchero today, man. He was playing some good ball. Rebound, and he ain't even. And the thing about it is, what shocked me, guys with smaller than Brook Lopez, grabbing with 15, 16 rebounds, and we that 7 footer can't even grab with 10. You only grabbing with 4 rebounds. And get that idiot out of here. Cut
I
him.
think he's good as gone. To keep it real, I think Brooks good as gone. And like we were talking about earlier, I don't know if you saw Dr. Smith, we were saying the pressers really made me feel better about what I expect going into next year because everyone held the accountability. Everything was addressed. Dame addressed and took responsibility for his play. Said he's gonna come in the best shape of his life coming into next season. He's gonna play better. Giannis is taught about taking better care of his body and also adjusting his game so he can be healthy. Because we have to admit Giannis has been hurt 3 out of the last 4 years in the playoffs. No, I'm not no shade, but we gotta have real conversations here. We need to have people around him that can create their own shot. We need people that can take some of the pressure off of Giannis. It can't just be Dame and Giannis. We have to have some of the others, like Bobby dribbling package and the layups too. We got to figure out what's going on. We're allergic to making layups too. It's crazy, but and then Doc addressed also that the young guys, we need youth, and that the reason Marjan wasn't playing, he never really got a chance to see him play like that because he's always hurt, but he has the most upside out of the young dudes.
Did Pat Beverly take accountability for anything that he did?
I think Pat's gone. I think he just killed himself.
Because to me, that's a fireable offense.
Right. I think he's gone.
He's not even on the book here.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Yep.
I definitely want some tenacity. I want some fight. I want all of that, right, on the court. However, I think the older I get, the more I respect the mature guys who know the difference between playing hard and out of control and losing their mind, right? He faces a suspension next year.
Absolutely.
I don't want to have to deal with that. Why should we have to deal with that because you lose control? If somebody's saying something to you on the sideline, then you just remind them that I matter because I'm on the court.
True, Mr. Cool.
And you're just paying to watch us play. That's it. Don't even pay attention to him. And if it's really out of hand, you point him out to security, just like everyone else does these days.
Right.
What are you doing? I didn't even see that.
He lost his cool. He lost his cool.
You're fired.
He's playing the board.
He's gone. We got to understand Pat Bev is gone. He did 2 things in 48 hours that might low key get him blackballed from the NBA.
I get a question, but sorry with that, Mrs. Smith. My question is, right, what I heard Giannis said in the press, it really catch me off guard, said that this off season he is willing to go work with Dame in Portland and sit down so they could talk basketball and things like that. Doc said he want to have the full season and have guys ready for training camp so he could implement his system. So what I asking, right, how he's going to keep all of those coaches on that stuff, or he's going to trim it down? That's what I like to know, because
my personal opinion, he's gonna trim them down, like, because most of y'all remember most of those guys were Griffin's assistants he had on there. So I would expect a lot of those people to be gone. They'll probably keep a couple of the coaches, but I say it'll be down, and I think they're gonna add a system. Only thing I'm thinking about right now is if the GM stays or goes, or whoever we get for GM, they got to not just go to Giannis and say we want. We gotta the GM's job is to make the team better, not just what Giannis wants. We gotta go just with the Packers. We need somebody to be the bad guy. Somebody got to be Razor Ramon out there and make decisions for us.
Like, Razor Ramon.
I'm sorry. We got to be saying, hey, Chico, we ain't gonna be doing that, man. We're gonna do it our way. We gotta do best for the team. So I just think I want somebody out there to be the bad guy and make sure we be better every year, because Giannis is turning 30, and I didn't really.
We got to start keeping up with the Joneses. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses right now. Exactly. Otherwise, we're gonna be exactly what we are right now, a team good enough to go to the playoffs but not make no noise because we don't have enough team speed.
I think we started it. I think there are some athletic thresholds that it looked like they started to get to. Chris Livingston, AJ, Marjan, all of those guys are guys with wingspan. That was an issue that was identified before. They need to keep moving in that direction. You need to fill out your roster with guys with
good looking Green Ranger.
Young guys, long arms, can move laterally.
Right.
You need to cut. You need to see who their contracts are up of the guys that we named, and flat out you're not re-signing them. It's as simple as that. The guys who are still on the books, you need to see what you can get for them. It pains me to say this because I'm a Brook Lopez fan when he was playing at his best, and I do think that he gives Milwaukee a good look when he's at his best. Unfortunately, he is too unable to get to his best. It's time to move on, and that's tough for me to say. It's time to move on. I don't want to see another season of mediocre basketball where guys are putting it in cruise control for the entire season because they want to save it for the playoffs, just for us to get to the playoffs, and it doesn't matter anyway. That's been my experience the last 2 seasons. It's been less than satisfying as a Milwaukee
Hold
Buck.
on one second. Hey Nick, I didn't see your $4.99 super chat. My bad. Salute to one of the queens of the chat, Nick Swin. She said we quick to move players around, but you have to take a look at the salaries. Hold on, let me make sure I got all that. Nick said we quick to move players around, but you have to look at the salaries tax. We may be hit. Yeah, all that has to be taken into consideration. Absolutely, Nick. And that's why we saying salaries probably gonna have to match. And that's why I was always saying, also saying that we couldn't trade Bobby Portis because of how, for what he produces, his salary is so low. That's the
Yeah.
problem we were saying before you got on, Dr. Smith, is that Bobby P only get $10 million a year for what the numbers
Wow.
he put up, and he's always almost
When
a
is his
perennial,
contract up?
huh?
In two
When is
more
his
years.
contract up?
In 2 more years.
Yeah, 2 more
Then
years. So I can let me
worry
just put
about
this
this.
on the screen real quick, y'all. Hold on 1 second so y'all can see. So as you can see here, Bobby Porter's 11 million, 12 million, 13 million. That's nothing.
You can't get rid of that contract. You
You
just
can't get
can't.
rid of that for what he produced. That's the thing. He's
Right.
only getting paid a couple more million than Pat Connaughton. Let that sink in.
Yep.
Well,
That's a
so I
steal.
think that's advantageous. I think that's an advantageous salary for no other reason than we don't have a backup big man.
That's what I'm
That's
saying. So you can't get rid.
That,
So we have
good
to
point.
let that go.
Good,
Bobby is not being traded. Bobby is not being traded. So that's dead. Now, and so just so you can see it, Dr. Smith, you see Crowder obviously gone. Pat Bev
yeah.
is gone. Beasley's gone. So these three are gone. They don't have any guaranteed money next year. Obviously, you know, the assets will be re-signed. Gallinari will be gone, and I'm not sure who will keep, if any of these players here. Wigington,
well,
Bolden,
that's how much money
Washington,
the
or
Bucks got.
Gallinari.
How much the Bucks got that
The,
they're
the
off the
biggest the
book?
biggest one is Brooke Lopez.
Yeah,
The
Brooke
biggest one, and
Lopez, that's the one we need to move. And that's why I said we can trade him, because this 23 million is the last year of his contract. So that way, that's a team would want that just to get the money off the books to try to sign a superstar or something.
possibly,
Uh,
possibly. But
eh,
if they had guys like we did, I don't know who's going to want an aging center who, as big as he is, lacks athleticism. So you're going to have to hope that someone is going to want to go in for that. Because quite honestly, I think Houston was a patsy. They
Yep.
used Houston. Houston's not going to be in on that. Because
Oh no, no,
if I'm Houston's GM, I'm pissed off that all you did was use me to drive up your asking price, but there was never any real intention to sign in here in the first place.
I don't trust
So
Austin Reeves like that, Mr. Cool, but I feel you. He said trade
I
Middleton for Austin Reeves. I can't do that. Austin
no,
Reeves
uh,
too up and down.
no,
I
not
might.
for
What about if we try to get a young center like your boy from the Orlando Magic? He played well today. Wendell Carter Jr. You wouldn't think that would be a
Yeah,
good.
I've been hearing that name a lot. It depends what they want for him, though.
So
That's what it all boils down to. What do they want at the end of the day?
but see, but also the other thing that you have to know is, like, if this is a
Salute, Keith.
negotiating table, then people are gonna know that they have Milwaukee kind of over a barrel right now, right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We're not negotiating from a position of advantage. Everyone saw that once again we got put out in the first round. We won one more
yep.
game in the playoffs than we did last year. If we come asking for something, people are going to charge us. They're going to want their pound of flesh. I would. There are no
Hmm.
friends in this business. You want to get rid of Brooke Lopez because it's going to help to balance your books. You're going to have to pay for that.
Thank you,
You know what I
Cynthia.
mean? And so which is why I'm saying it might be a cold winter coming up, and you might have to deal with that in order to get your financial hygiene back where it needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know enough about the salaries and how they work, and whether or not if we move Brooke Lopez, would those monies still be on the, like, are we still on the hook to pay?
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, we wouldn't be on the hook for anything. That's the whole point. It's the last year. That's what they call like a dead weight. That's where teams will trade for somebody just so it's an expiring contract. Teams get that to try to get more space in the long run.
I even
Then why
see
would take
that.
Brook Lopez then?
I think somebody will because of that. I think a team will take Brook for sure.
But you got like
But I
four.
mean, like, what would be the advantage?
4 people off the books for the Bucks.
Say again, Daniel. I'm sorry.
No, I saw the picture that Amber showed, and it seemed like he showed like only 4 people to be off the books. And I'm thinking like, wow, like think about it. We can sign another max player, maybe. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying we got 4 people off the books, and then sometime trade. Bobby Port. I mean, not Bobby Portis. I'm talking about Lopez away, because like I said, we chance us to rebuild. Do we get a star player, or we just build a player?
No, we don't need another star. We need role players. We need role
No
players.
more this star player stuff. Yeah, you have got to start building the infrastructure your team back up. Yeah. We don't have it. Look, the bench. You guys were right there watching the game with me. 44-6 at one point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
44-6. It's not a star player thing. Our supporting cast was cheeks, big cheek. Like, you know what I'm saying? This conversation between Dame and Giannis and him flying out to Portland. Why did it take this long to have that conversation? That's frustrating.
Right.
That's the move that you should be making. Dame needs to get his personal life in order.
Right.
That's a big thing that needs to happen, and that's no easy thing. Those of us who've been in long-term relationships and it didn't work out, that's a real thing. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to jump up and down on Dame's head. That's supposed to be, his girl from high school. They have babies together. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big deal. But you have got to be present, bro.
On that court. I was a little harsh when I did my video. I said that, what he's going through right now is hard. But my thing is, once you're on that court, I don't hear nothing about it. You're on that basketball court with me. We playing together for the next 20.
I don't want to hear no excuses. Kobe was possibly going to jail, and he had some of the best numbers of his career during that stretch. So I'm not trying to hear, respectfully, I'm not trying to hear no excuses.
Well, I mean, I feel like, no two people are alike, right? And people deal with situations differently, right? But let me know flat out if this is not something that you can deal with, mental health wise, real conversations. And if you can't, just tell the truth, bro. If you can't, then you got to go too, and we'll send you the way you.
I feel that way too. I feel like if he don't want to be, if he don't feel like being here, then
but he hasn't said that. He said he wanted to be here. He said that he wants to prove himself and be in the best shape of his career coming into next year. And he held accountability for what he did wrong or how he came into this season. That's all we can ask for.
Well, my arms open. Come on, baby. Baby, come on, let's do this next year. My arms are open for him. Let's go.
But I mean, like, there's the answer that you give the general public, and then there's the real what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
Can you do this? Right? Because we cannot go through another season of that. And for me, when it comes to Damian Lillard, the lasting image that I'm having in my head was of T.J. McConnell shaking him. You were supposed to be one of the 75 best players ever, not in the NBA, ever. And T.J. McConnell shook you. I don't care about your three. I care about your defense. You better do something, bro. And we need more guys with longer length to help out in that regard, because I know that the best that we could hope for from him is a 5 out of 10 on defense. But I didn't even see a 5 out of 10. I saw you were a complete 0 on defense. When it mattered most, you had T.J. McConnell shaking you. That's it.
But he did have an Achilles. He wasn't even supposed to be in the game, to keep it real, though. He wasn't even supposed to be in the game.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? So he did get shit.
I was with you. I was with you until I remember he did get hurt, man.
He wasn't even supposed to be playing realistically.
Fair enough. Put that.
That's the only thing.
And say, all right, I was injured last time. You ain't gonna do it to me this time.
Right. Yeah. That's fair.
I'm with you.
You know, and T.J. McConnell gives everyone work, bro. Respectfully, I don't root for everybody. I root for the Bucks, man. I don't want them to do it to us anymore. We've been out in the first round for the last 2 years. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want
Right.
to hear, oh well, he beats up everybody, and I don't want to. I'm done with that.
Right.
We are. It's getting to the point where I've forgotten what it felt like to even be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Do you know that the Cavaliers got past us? The
Yep.
Cavaliers made it further than us. Are you
Right. The
crazy? I
Cavs.
don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of it. Expand your search. Go look in some of these European leagues. It has been done before. Let's find some guys with length. I don't want anyone on the team other than Damian Lillard that has less than a certain wingspan. I want
Right.
nothing but 6'7" guys. I don't want anyone over the age of 26 except for our big three.
That's fair.
No one. And
Fair.
Bobby Portis.
All right.
And
Hold
that's
on.
it. I don't want anyone over 26 except for the big four, I
Hold on,
guess.
hold on 1 second. Our favorite op back in the chat. Hold on 1 second. No strays ENT. Appreciate the 4.99 super chat. Pat Bev almost hitting a little girl in the head with the ball. Look crazy. I unfollowed him and unsubscribed. Hold on, damn. I unfollowed and unsubscribed and subscribed to Amara's Logic. Get them likes up. I appreciate that,
All right,
bro.
all right.
That
That's
was
good.
positive. There we. Hey, you know what? Shout out No
We can do
Strays.
that. Still some love,
Subscribe.
man.
I
That's crazy.
appreciate that, No Strays.
The fireable defense, man.
Yeah,
You get on my
but
nerves, but I
that's
still
past
love.
Fireball. He might get blackballed
He
from
will.
for
That's
the
a
NBA for
fireable
something like that. I could see it. He's older now. Do you really need Pat Bev around?
You remember DeMarcus Cousins?
Right, exactly.
They
Black
got
got him
really
out of there.
on now.
Look, like I said the other day when it as it pertained to Bobby Portis, right? I think we've all fallen short of the glory of God, right? We've all messed up. I do believe that people should be forgiven of their shortcomings if they're truly repentant, but it does not mean that there are no consequences for your actions. And if that's something that you needed to be told not to do, I listened to a podcast addressing this, right? And one of the things
True,
that the
Mr. Cool.
person said was, we didn't really know what the provocation was. And that's true. They could have been back there getting just getting crazy, talking crazy. But at that point, there is an established protocol that you use. None of that is actually taking the ball and throwing it at women and children or whomever it is. I still believe that one of the things that I really like basketball for is class in organizations. When you see hard-nosed competitors who have class, and that was classless. We're not only getting
That's
our
true.
asses whooped, but then you do that on the bench too. It just made it look like trash. I don't want that on my team.
Fair.
And you're not good enough that I should have to deal with that. Yes, he played really good ball for us. He was an infusion of energy. It was the best defense that we'd seen from a point guard position in a while, and you're
Correct.
still fired. And you're still fired. It wasn't like world ending. It was still fired, right? You know what I mean? Like, what's his name? Tyrese Halliburton ran right down the middle and scored on you. It's not like the most
Right.
incredible defense that we've ever seen in our lives. So, like, why do we have to deal with that? For a dude that's how old is he? 36?
Yeah.
35? Yeah, you're fired. You're
Yeah,
fired.
when you,
You can go do
I,
that with
Right.
somebody.
Mr. Cool got a good point here, y'all. Mr. Cool said we still don't know what type of players we need around Dame and Giannis until they figure out how to play together. Well, one thing that we can say is that we need athletic defenders. We need defenders around Dame here. We know that. We need length and defending. And like you said, people that don't play any position, they're just out there. They can cover multiple positions. That's what we need. We need defenders. Because we can get buckets. We know we bring a Middleton. He can get buckets. I don't think we're going to trade Middleton. As much as I would love to, I don't think the Bucks will trade Middleton. Though they should, I don't think they will. So I really feel like the core coming back for sure is Bobby P, Middleton, Giannis, and Dame. I think those are the four people coming back. Everyone else is a roll of the dice.
Defense. The identity has to be defense again. Us
it
trying to
does.
shoot our way out of problems, no good. No good. That's what we did this year. It was trash.
Yeah, I agree.
And we need. I mean, also we need to establish what Doc's going to do with this team too overall because he came in. I don't understand. He had no training camp, no nothing.
All right.
This offseason, I should hear no excuses. Offseason,
Thank
got
you.
all Get all the players you want. Get all the training you want. Get all this stuff you want. I don't want to hear Doc talk about this hard. This hard. No, this is your last chance because we got 3 coaches on the books right now,
Right.
and we trying to win a championship. We ain't. This ain't no waiting and seeing or hiding. Because this is second year in a row we get put out of the playoffs and Giannis is on the bench because he's hurt. We gotta make sure that we got a plan in session to get this team to the next level we should
Right.
be at. And I
One
understand
thing I
that.
want to
But
I want to say, I want to interject here for a moment, but then to go to you, Gibson, is one thing we need to actually consider just because of what's happened the last 3 or 4 years. I know y'all not gonna want to hear this, but this is the truth. We need to consider load management for Giannis at this point. Now
I will do
there's
that
been
in
too
a heartbeat.
much proof.
I will
We
do
need
that
to
in a
look at
heartbeat.
minutes and we need to look at load management. 3 out of 4 years, you've been hurt by the time we got to the playoffs, or as we got into the playoffs, that's a problem. So the main thing for this team is to make sure Giannis, Dame, our core players are healthy going into the playoffs. That means they're gonna have to start playing less minute, load manage properly, and also we need to have more explosive players around them to help them score. That's what we need, Mr. Cool. Matter of fact, let's spin the block on that. We need explosive players. And what I mean by explosive, being able to create their own shot, having some type of burst. Mostly everybody on this team, entire roster, got the John Havlicek dribbling package, John Stockton dribbling package. There's nothing dynamic. Nothing
All right.
dynamic. We need to get
I
something on that. But go ahead, Gibson. Go
tap
ahead,
out.
Gibson. All right.
My point is right now, like what you said, right? I would like for Doc Rivers to play the young guys more
Okay.
coming in the next season. Because if he going carrying him into camp, that means you should be able to give Andre Jackson Jr., Marjan Beauchamp, and AJ Green more time to
Uh-huh.
develop. Now you get more time. You get more
Right.
time with them to develop, so they can
Right.
have an idea. So they can have an idea to insert in the system. So when the playoffs come, Giannis and Dame don't have to do too much because we get our young guys that willing to step up and step up to the challenge and step up to the challenge. So I'm
We
looking
need an
forward to the now. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
You go ahead.
no,
Go ahead,
no.
Mr.
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm agreeing with you. I'm co-signing what you were saying. Go ahead.
Finish your
Yeah.
statement, Gibson.
And then too, we need to get rid of John Horst. I think we have to get moved for as much as it hurt. We appreciate what you did for the Milwaukee Bucks. Thank you for bringing us that championship in 21. I think we need to just go in a different way with him and bring in someone, a new voice, a new face, to see what they could do with this roster, how to help maximize this championship winner what we have here. So go ahead, Brandon. This is all yours, Brandon. It's all yours, Brandon.
Go ahead, Brandon.
What's up, y'all?
What up?
What's
I'm
up,
at my
Go
Brandon?
ahead,
family.
Brandon.
So, I agree. I agree with everyone saying. So, Dame and I ain't gonna get a lot of chemistry on this whole season. And I think not everybody see the big picture now. That everybody wants to come from book. I
Mm-hmm.
see now. When they, I've been saying last time, in the last live, we cannot run back. No way, no day. Hell, that's not
Yeah, we wouldn't run it back by default though, because some of those people contracts are just expiring, so we wouldn't run it back at all. The thing that we need to be concerned about is the type of players that we're trying to get into this system here. That's what we need to
right.
be concerned about. If we gonna lose 3 or 4 people, that's a huge part of our bench. And what we need to strengthen is our bench. Our bench failed us all season and really failed us in the playoffs. If it wasn't for Bob, like the only thing that was our shining light off the bench was Bobby. Once Bobby had to be inserted in the starting lineup, we had no bench. We had no bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened. So all these people we getting rid of are just gonna fall off by attrition. They need to be replaced with somebody that can score and someone that's athletic, that has like the wingspan. It's the wingspan. We need the wingspan. That's the thing.
See,
That's what make OKC so dope. They have
And
long
Boston.
athletic players. And yes,
And
Mr.
Yep.
Cool, I know that they got them players through the draft, but there are players like that in the league. Like for instance, we could have got looked at Kelly Oubre in the offseason. We was talking about him
Yep.
in the offseason. Look what Kelly Oubre is doing. You don't think he would have helped us in the postseason? Having Kelly
Yes, he
Oubre
will.
Jr. maybe instead of Beasley? I mean, let's
Yep.
just be real. We just not need to understand the dynamics of today's NBA and the type of prototypical player you need to have to win in today's NBA. Just look at the teams out here. That's it.
I
Go
agree.
ahead, Brandon.
I think some players gonna get moved. I think Jay Crosby go on. He can bring nothing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Beasley, I would give Beasley another shot, but that's not
No, he can't.
No,
He,
no,
Yeah, you
no,
no,
can't
no,
bring
no.
Beasley back.
no.
that
No, that's a
that's
no.
fly by he's out there.
As much as you want to say Pat is gone, I just don't know if I feel confident about Pat being gone. I feel like he has something going on where he's safe. I don't know how or why, but I don't feel Pat is going anywhere. Otherwise, he'd have been gone already. Pat's been trashed for the last 2-3 years to keep it real. And if he hasn't been
So
gone
that
by now, they're gonna let him finish his contract out. That's why I didn't even bring up Pat Connaughton, because I know that's wishful thinking. That's why I said I want this pod to be realistic scenarios and situations. It's should we trade Patsy? Yes, but looking at the history of this team and how we look with Patsy, I see him finish out his contract. Same with Middleton, unless we get some outstanding deal. I don't see us moving Middleton. I
What
don't
about
see
Pat?
it.
What about Pat Bev?
Pat Bev is gone. Pat Bev killed himself already. He gone.
Okay, it's Pat Bev to stay humble. Pat
It's
Bev
done.
should.
There's no it ain't nothing about humble. It all what he did throwing that basketball killed him. That killed him right there.
I know Pat Bev should not take his emotions competitive.
He made a poor decision. He made a poor decision. What up to Amtrak? Hold on 1 second. Let me see. No strays, our favorite op. Let me appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Best advice I can offer the Bucks is try to pick up Bol and Tobias Harris for cheap, or try to trade Dame for Clay and Draymond. The Bol,
Oh,
I'm always Tobias Harris.
he started with the Bucks. He was with the Bucks before, but a lot of people don't know the Bucks had Tobias Harris on the
Yeah,
team before.
Tobias Harris is what he is. You need Tobias Harris to get you 16 points. He gonna get you 16 points. You need Tobias Harris to get you 23 points. He gonna get you 16 points. He is who he is. He don't have no special effects. You can't expect much from him, but he will score in double figures most of the time. But unless it was dirt cheap, I wouldn't be thinking about Tobias Harris either, because he's not a great defender. Bol was interesting on the cheap, but then I always think with Bol shows so much talent, why does he keep getting traded from team to team? It has to be something he's doing wrong with Bol.
I know for me, stop being as stop caring so much about the name. This for anybody, and more into the physical measurables. I'm really am. I'm really studying what these football teams are doing and how they're building, because I think some of them who have it going are really good at it because they don't care as much about the names and whatnot. They're caring about the measurables and how those guys
Facts,
fit.
Amtrak.
You had said Kelly Oubre. I thought Kelly Oubre would have fit with this team really well,
Absolutely.
really well. And it's not how he individually plays; it's how he
Exactly,
would have
Robert
fit
Brooks.
with the team. He would have fit with the team and what they're doing. Doesn't need the ball a lot. He is the 3-and-D guy that we could have used. He has length. He has speed. He's explosive. I think he would have fit perfectly. And I think you look for someone who physically looks like him, because right now that's what we need. I think we were on a roll. We were on a good start, and getting someone like an Ajax and getting someone like a Chris Livingston. I just think it's unfortunate that we didn't have the time to fully develop it. Like someone said before, no excuses this time.
Right.
No excuses. You have an entire season. Here's the other thing. I think we're in the a position now where we can see how we performed the last 2 years, and every opportunity that these teams have to get together and get better, that'll let me know who's serious about it and who's not. Because at this point, I shouldn't have to ask you to come to this voluntary workout that we have. Obviously, there are going to be things that
Everybody
are
should be there.
involuntary and you have to be there. Everyone should be there today. Today. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's not actually happening. But so in reality, take a month off, take maybe a month and a half off, and then after that, we are back here trying to fix what we or trying to recover what we lost in the
False,
fire.
One Punch Man.
That's the truth.
Oh,
That's the truth.
I don't know about
False,
any
One
of
Punch
that.
Man. But I appreciate you tapping in, bro. But false. Go finish your
That's crazy.
statement, Dr. Smith. Go ahead and finish your statement.
But that's what I'm saying. You look for the measurables. So right now, I don't have any of those off the top of my head. But you go out and do your analytical research, right? What are these teams? Go and find out what the league average is right now and on these teams that are really successful, right? What is the average arm length? What can you cover? How can you establish this? How can you establish a good perimeter defense? And then you go out and you start looking for guys like that. Average height. Go start looking at these physical measurables. I don't even think that's something that Milwaukee does. The basketball equivalent to the NFL Combine, does Milwaukee even pay attention to that? Because if they don't, they need to. I need to see certain people who have a certain lateral speed. And if you don't have it, you can't make it. And Milwaukee can't possibly be looking at that because Malik Beasley has the lowest lateral speed that I've seen for someone at his size in my life. I don't get it. Yes.
Oh my God, Janet MOC. Wow.
That's crazy. That's off the hook, Janet. That's off the hook. But here's what I'm talking about. This and then I'm gonna go, right? But case in point. Our perimeter defense was so terrible that what we were doing was, and this is something that I said at the last chat, that what we were doing to try and stop that penetration was collapsing in to try and stop it once the player got around that initial defender, which they were always doing without any resistance, right? So that's mistake number one, problem number one. The very next thing that they tried to do was to explode back out to the three-point shooter once the Pacers made the extra pass. You see what I'm saying? So the Pacers would penetrate, we would collapse in, then the Pacers would throw the ball back out to the perimeter. Our answer to that was for whoever it is that collapsed in to sprint back out to the three-point shooter. It was Bud's defense all over again. Yep. The problem is not only is this a bad defense from Jump Street, but it's made even worse with the guys that we have. Because Malik Beasley very often was one of those guys who had to explode back out. But once Malik Beasley collapsed into the paint, there was no exploding back out from him. He got stuck in the mud in quicksand. He'd do some little half-ass jump or whatever. It was stopping nothing. It was stopping nothing. We had said this earlier in the season. Is the problem with him that he gets too low in his defensive stance? Why does he always look exhausted out there as if he'd play 2 games to everybody else's 1? Like, what is going on with him? How old is he? Why does he look like he's the same age as Chris Middleton? Like, what's going on with his fitness? Like, someone pump some air in his legs. Get up and down the court. Let's go, man. You're still a young dude. I don't want to have to motivate anyone, because then I'll see Ajax, and Ajax is the one thing that he did do is to bring that energy. Yeah. I need guys like, right? So athletic measurables. Let's find out what those are, and you make the team when you meet those athletic thresholds. I don't care what your name is. Do you meet the thresholds or don't you? And if you don't meet the thresholds, you can't make the team. We have got to get back to getting younger, faster, bigger, stronger, faster. Bobby Portis is not a center. He's never been a center. That is a stopgap measure that just kept getting grandfathered into the next coach, to the next coach, to the next coach. We lost the big man center. Bobby Portis was supposed to be a Band-Aid on that problem, where he was going to be the backup center. Then we never got a center. He's not a center. He's not a center if he's scared of Miles Turner.
Correct.
Simple as that. If you scared of Miles Turner, if you cannot put a ball up around Miles Turner, if you can't stop Joel Embiid's initial process without getting blown off the ball, then you're not a center. Can we go out and get a backup center? Your
Back.
starting center, in my opinion, from this point forward, I would give strong consideration to moving Giannis to the center.
Mm,
From this point forward.
mm.
Hey,
Bigger,
uh,
stronger, faster.
That is a
AJ,
very. I just don't know if he wants to do that or the wear and tear, but I see where you're going. It would help the
Giannis,
team. It would
we
help the
need to
team.
have some conversations about what you want and what the team needs. Because what you wanted got us in this spot, Giannis. How about that? Adrian Griffin didn't
Can
need to
we
be
get
the
the
coach.
likes of Dr. Smith is cooking in here? He got. I know y'all talking about the second apron, but hey, Dr. Smith got his apron on and he cooking right now. Get the likes up, Bucks Nation. Support the channel. Let's go. Go ahead, Dr. Smith.
can I
I'm
have
just
something?
saying, coach. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Brent.
Okay, look, look, all the big man that played that we should get. We should have get Thomas Bryant, Derrick Jones Jr., uh,
Thomas Bryant, he's interested because he only like 25. Thomas Bryant, I don't know why he keep moving from team to team, but Thomas Bryant does got some skill. That was a big man that played for Washington for a minute, and I think he
yeah,
went over to Denver. I don't know where he's at now, but he does have
He's the
some upside. I just don't know if his mental is there. But Thomas Bryant does have some upside, and he's young.
how about
he's the
Derrick Jones?
Miami.
He's an
He's with
athlete.
Miami.
Yeah, go
He's
go
that
ahead,
Miami.
Gibson.
He's the Thomas Bryant is at Miami. He on Miami. He with Miami. He's
Okay,
with Miami now.
okay.
So I would like to see, like with Dr. Smith, man, you take everything over there once you took it and put it right in the pot and stir that pot up. But let me add some little seasoning on that. Mr. Smith, I would like to see next season the Bucks have two centers. We need a backup center. We never addressed that problem at all.
Uh,
That problem was never addressed. Horse never addressed that. He turned a blind eye to that. He never addressed that. We need to address that problem, and we need to have a good decent bench. I don't want when we play next season, I see our guys off the bench giving us 2.6. No, 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 no. We don't need that. We need a proper bench. What can help us to get back in the games, to help close series, we need a bench. And not only that, Amber, next season I know Giannis them coming with revenge on their mind for the Pacers. Let's
right.
carry your head on. I know
Uh,
they coming for them. So
Hold on
we
one
got right
second,
that.
Gibson. I agree with you, Mr. Cool. You said considering the games. Hold on one second, but I have a retort here. You said considering the game, Giannis and Dame and Middleton missed. We still finished third in the East. We are overreacted. No, that's
No.
not. No, no, Mr. Cool. You got to check this out. Middleton has had an injury issue. I blame Giannis's injuries directly on Middleton not playing. If Middleton has been more available, I don't think Giannis has to play as hard. And Chris Middleton hasn't been really available for the last 3 to 4 years consistently. That's why if we could, I would move Middleton. I just don't know if it's feasible with his contract and his health issues. But Middleton not being available has directly affected Giannis's health.
Yep.
They correlate. They correlate. Just look at it. When Middleton's been healthy, you don't see Giannis getting hurt. Giannis feels he has to do way more for the team and play way harder when Middleton isn't there because where are we gonna get that scoring? We are not a dynamic team. We got savvy veterans, but we're not dynamic. Our team doesn't have any special effects outside of Giannis, outside of Dame. That's it. When I mean special effect, dribbling, post move, dynamic, explosive in some shape or form. Those are the only two players. Bobby is not explosive. Pat Connaughton is not explosive. Middleton isn't explosive. No one else on this roster is explosive. Maybe Andre Jackson Jr. and Beauchamp. Maybe the only other
Yep.
two. That's it. That's why we get cooked. We're not dynamic. We're not fast. We can't jump high. We can barely dunk. Think about that. These are players in the NBA. They barely can dunk. Barely. That's crazy.
I,
I think
I
I not
mean,
only that.
what
I
they
not
do
Uh,
only
at this,
that.
Hold on one
I
second.
not.
One
I
at a
not
time. Go
only.
ahead, Gibson. First, then Mr. Smith. Then we gonna go to you, Brandon. Go ahead, Gibson.
Yeah, and I'm but when what and this is the thing with bug me. Why John Ross takes so long take in consideration with these things to see that the team that no one on this team is athletic besides Giannis, Andre Jackson Jr. and Bojan all met
That's
as a
it.
GM. He has no vision for the team. He wasn't looking to address the problems that the Bucks have. He just go on and stay there and sign these old citizen players to this team to say, okay, we good. No, we don't need that. He's supposed to go out. Number one, we don't have a backup center. I need to get that. I have to close that gap. Number two, Middleton is in and out of the lineup. What could I do? Should I trade him? Should I get someone else? Should I
Damn,
call
you think
another
so,
team?
Samuel? Okay. All right.
Should I call another team to find out if I could make a trade for him or get someone? Giannis need coming in the next season. Giannis need a consistent second running mate beside Dame. So when they go out, that next person could come in and help bridge the gap until they catch themselves. We cannot expect the Giannis to be carrying this load on it. He was carrying this team from 2019 to 18.
Right.
He was carrying this team. We cannot put no much on him. So the organization needs to make a move. Either you can trade Middleton or Lopez this
Facts,
offseason
Robert
to
Allen.
free up the money for the cap space so we could get someone in return decent with good help. So when the playoff come, Giannis don't have to play too hard. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
I was saying, yeah, I agree with everything that was said. With Mr. Cool, as usual, I respect your opinion, but I don't know that I agree with like, for example, he said, we always act like there is a big line of players in line waiting to be picked. Meanwhile, we're already in the luxury tax. But this is why we were saying we need to financially get healthy. Please don't forget that
Right.
part of the conversation that we're having. It's not
Yep.
just about the stars. I disagree with that. Very much in the same way that earlier in the season, the answer by a lot of the fans, yourself included, I'm talking about Mr. Cool, was that offense, 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 and we substitute defense. That was a failing plan. If we become a top-heavy team where we're relying solely on our stars, that's a failing plan. We lost. The main stat wasn't the only stat, but the main stat in that last game was 44-6. Ignore that if you like, but I
Bench
think that would
matters.
be
A
cool.
bench matters. A
Of
bench
course,
matters.
it's a complete
And somebody just
picture.
said it here in the chat. Let me see. Damn, I want to find your comment. Somebody was saying like, I can't remember who it is. My apologies. They were saying that the bench matters because it adjusts how many minutes your starters play during the regular season, which allows them to be more fresh coming into the playoffs. If you can rely on your bench, and I completely agree with that statement. Completely agree.
Of course, the bench matters. Any coach worth his salt, all they're gonna do is zero in on the weaknesses on your team and exploit them. No team is perfect, but the more weaknesses you have, the easier it is to exploit you. That's a fairly simple concept to understand, right? So if your bench is trash, then all we're going to do is match up so that to expand leads is to really exploit your bench. That's all they did. That's all they did to us. Right, you don't. There's only one ball. I don't need like 1,000 scores on the
Sandra,
team.
the
There's only
point is
one
he's
ball to
never
go
he's
around
when
the
is he
field.
healthy? That's the problem. When is he healthy?
I don't. You know what I mean. You
Right.
develop your younger guys. We need more of what we started with. That's why I'm encouraged because it seemed like they started the plan with Ajax, with getting someone like Amara Beauchamp, with Chris Livingston. That's the template that I want them to continue to use. I just want them to lean into it more. Come off of these big ridiculous salaries that we have. Brooke Lopez is being the most ridiculous contract
Right.
that we have. Get rid of that. Get financially healthy again, and start the process of walking back to equilibrium, back to homeostasis. Because right now we're not. We are massively top heavy.
Yep.
We're leaning way too much into our stars. It doesn't work in that way. If you have all this money to the stars, you didn't flesh out the rest of your roster. What happens when just one of those stars gets hurt?
Facts,
The
Harry.
rest of your team is not built to take up the slack because the rest of the team is ass. Because all of the money is into the stars, and the rest of this, it doesn't work.
Even
It
Miami, they
doesn't
tried
work.
it that with even Miami when they put the big three together for the first season, it didn't work, and a lot of it was because they didn't have a bench. They didn't
Exactly.
have a bench.
So what Mr. Cool is saying here is what Minnesota Timberwolves did was build a team year by year, and they have a great team now. This takes time to rebuild. Is exactly what I'm saying. I said we have to be aware of the fact that this is going to be a potentially cold winter because this is not a 1 year plan. There's a lot that we have to redo. There's a lot that we have to redo. I get that they the plan before. I was in favor of the plan before, so I don't want to act like I'm engaging in revisionist history. I was on record by saying we needed to bring Brooke back, and I was wrong. The experiment did not work. So how does a person become intelligent? Do you continue to move in the same direction that you were going in before, or do you have the evidence in front of you and say, okay, we tried it this way, this doesn't work. The Bucks trying to be the Avengers, right? With Thor and this one and the Hulk, that didn't work. You need to flesh out a more evenly balanced team in the event that one of these guys gets hurt. And with the Bucks, let's be honest, it's not an if, it's a when. Our team is more equipped to deal with the absence of one of those guys. We were completely not ready for that. Now, mind you, it's extenuating circumstances. We were missing two guys for most of the series. That's a bit much for everyone. But our bench is so ass. It's so ass, right? We that can't continue to go on, man. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you, y'all. I'm with you. I'm gonna get up out of here in a minute. Let y'all get y'all last words here. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Gibson. Gibson, take us home real quick, sir.
Peace and love, the Bucks Nation. Let's pray that next season is our season, that we go well. We address all these problems that we have. We get rid of John Horse and bring in someone seriously to lead this team in the direction it need to be leading in. That's all I have to say. Go ahead, Brandon.
I'm very happy that they broke up because everything what he been through, get you come here, get you a lot of stuff going on with the boys and everything, his family. Now, this off season, he got to sit down, spend time with the family, and continue to work on his game more, and continue to build that chemistry with Giannis.
Yep, there we go. I think you got a lot going on in your background. Is that your background?
Yeah,
Brandon. All right. Yeah, I got to tell you, I can't hear nothing. All right, Brandon. All right, y'all. All right. All right, y'all. All right, Dr. Smith. All right, Gibson. Go.
Salute.
All right. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep doing these lives though, y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Let me get the last couple comments out here. If you haven't already, hit the like button. We still grinding. We still talking Bucks after the postseason. We're gonna start doing some Packer lives, and once it get closer to the finals, we'll start doing lives and just talking about what's going on in the finals. We gotta start watching what other teams are doing anyway, so we know what we need to do with our squad. We see it's a youth movement in the NBA now, so we got to take that in consideration as we attempt to develop our roster. What we need to know is health as well. This team just needs to be healthy. We need to figure out how to manage minutes. That's one thing that Budenholzer was really good at, was managing our players' minutes. I remember there was a season Giannis didn't even play 33 minutes a game. It was something crazy. We need to get back on that. We need to do some load management on Giannis, and we need to if it was possible, while Middleton's stock is high, I would move Middleton because Middleton stayed hurt. It puts too much pressure on this type of roster with him that's constantly hurt. So if we could trade him for some a younger guy, maybe with not as much offensive talent but more explosive, I would be willing to do that. I'm just keeping it real. Mr. Cool said the problem is we're trying to win right away. Can't do both. We might have to take a step back for a year. We took a step back this year. So we'll see. But you're right. That's true, Mr. Cool. Amtrak's my boy was good at Mr. Cool because Giannis can't shoot different gravity. Okay. I see y'all. Samuel was good. We literally can't rebuild since we don't have control of our own picks until the next decade. We need to build a winner around Dame and Giannis. Minnesota has a ton of first picks and lottery picks. Very true. We could trade Brook for Kuzma straight up and draft a big and sign Wiseman or Jonathan Isaac for the cheap. I would do that. I would trade Brook for Kuzma. I would trade Middleton for Kuzma to keep it real. At least he play every day. Let me get my boy Daniel with the super chat. Appreciate you. What up, Keith? I see you. Bleacher Report boss, appreciate the 199 super chat. I love Mr. Cool, but you are wilding about Giannis. Shout out to Bleacher Report boss, Mr. Cool, going back and forth in the chat. Vaughn Alston was good. Jordan Clarkson, Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Kuzma. I'm taking Jordan Clarkson or Kyle Kuzma. Andrew Wiggins should really retire. He's a broken man, sir. He need to work. He need to work on himself. KJ was good. Giannis and Chris is our only untouchable players. It's fair game on everyone else. If you think Chris Middleton is untouchable, is wild, bro. That dude has been more hurt than anybody on this team for the last couple of years. No, he is definitely not untouchable. Absolutely not. The only untouchable player in reality is Giannis. Everyone else is the right offer come along, they gone. Mr. Cool, last comment. Daniel just messing around on board saying and hearing the same talk. No, it ain't the same talk. It's what needs to be said. It was what needs to be said, Mr. Cool. I'm cool on D-Lo. Monalando said we need to find a way to get James Wiseman as a backup center. I see y'all keep talking about James Wiseman. I don't see him as no world beater, y'all, to keep it real. But we going to see what's going to happen. And as things come up, I'm going to post them in the community tab or we'll just go live. So y'all just please stay tuned. We're going to continue to go live, talk Bucks. We got Packers lives coming soon and some Brewers live. Hey, Amtrax, hit me up so we can pick a day so we can go live and talk about the Brewers too. So hit me up on that. If y'all didn't know, my boy Amtrax is a baseball savant, especially about the Brewers. And he stayed down there in Arizona so he get to see all of that stuff. So shout out to Amtrax. Beats by the pound. Let me know, bro. Hit me up so we can start talking this Brewer stuff. So y'all stay tuned to the channel. We're going to still be going live talking sports. And if y'all want to go live and talk about a specific topic, please hit me up in the comment section or on in the Facebook group. Y'all know how to contact me so we can stay in touch. You know what it is. This Bucks Nation, aka friends and family. Y'all know what it is. My boy Pass said we need playoff risers, not droppers like Breesley. They need Chris playoff rising. Facts. 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 Appreciate y'all tapping in, y'all. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition, where we just got done kind of discussing what steps the Bucks need to do to improve this roster and to get out of the first round moving forward in the playoffs, since we've been ousted in the first round for the last 2 years, and just what we need to do to build. And discussing the positive commentary from Dame and the pressers, Doc, and Giannis. And hopefully they can take that momentum in the offseason, work out the kinks, and get the right players in here to increase the pace of this team and make us more competitive. Please comment, like, subscribe, share the electrifying content with the people. This is your number one source for Bucks news. This is the number one Bucks chat on YouTube. Please support the channel and the movement by hitting the like button and sharing the content. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Gone. We gonna be all right, y'all. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be no long fall off for this team, y'all. For real.